Dave Weiss here for the Glue Bomb Show. Well, I don't know if you know this. I think I've shared it before, but I am, besides doing the Glue Bomb Show and my ministry and all this other stuff, on occasion I'm part of the Amazon Vine program, which is people who get products from Amazon and review them. And it's just basically they give you the product for free. You write up a review and send it to them and post it, and it's a good way for them to test materials and to promote what they have. So I originally got involved in this in hopes that I'd be able to get some models for the Glue Bomb Show. That was my big idea. At this point, they have very little in the way of model building. However, my family likes to build puzzles. And puzzles is kind of another building thing, so I thought I could review puzzles and also review building toys. And so that's what I did with this particular one. This is the Pinda Deformation Tyrannosaurus Mech, okay? Now, you have your choice. You can do the Tyrannosaurus Mech, or you can do this Mech Warrior suit. I did the Tyrannosaurus because I felt like I would have more fun doing that. The other one is more like a Gundam. Oh, excuse me. This took a little longer than I had hoped today. Now, it pretty much assembles like Legos. I think if you went to put these in your Legos, they would connect, okay? It's very similar. However, it ain't Lego, okay? Uh, now, I had a good time doing the basic assemblies, the weapon system, the legs, the arms, the head, the body. All that went together really nicely. It was when you took those individual assemblies and tried to put them together that this became fun, okay? I kept breaking the legs off. I broke other parts off as well. It was getting really frustrating, and to be honest with you, I'm glad to be done with it. Now, it's not horrible. A kid could have some fun with this. It's 504 pieces. That includes I probably have about 20 leftover parts because, like I say, there's two different ways you can build it. There's a few extra pieces for the Mech Warrior here. So, all in all, not bad. I got to the point where I wish I had it glued together. And I know you're not really supposed to glue this type of thing, but it was starting to fall apart a bit too much. There was a lot of frustration going on. As far as the assembly of the basic parts goes, not bad. It says here 6 and up with 504 pieces. I'll tell you what, I don't think 6 and up is going to get it done. I think you've got to be quite a bit over 6 to have this done. But then I might be wrong, right? Because most of the things I build, I glue them together, and I enjoy that more than I enjoy doing this type of thing. As far as the basic building, it's not bad, okay? Like I say, those parts falling apart was starting to get old real fast, not going to lie. However, overall, not bad. They use stickers. Of course, there's no paint involved. You could paint it, I suppose, if you wanted to. But basically, there's no paint involved. About the only thing I would say is, and this is probably just because this is definitely a low-end kit. I mean, it didn't even come in a box, right? It came in a white paper box with a little sticker on it. And inside was a pretty decent instruction sheet and 10 to 12 bags of parts. If I had a gripe about anything besides those final assembly things, it would be that, yes, it had 10 to 12 bags of parts. Yes, all those bags were numbered. However, they didn't correlate with the assembly steps in here. So in other words, in order for me to really build this thing, I ended up getting out my handy dandy cookie sheet. These things are great for holding parts, by the way. And just dumped all the parts out into that cookie sheet. And then I had to go flitting through it to find them, okay? I really would have preferred, bag 1 for assembly steps 1 to 10 or, something like that. There's 75 steps in all to build this. And again, at the end of the day, it's together. It looks pretty decent. You could have fun with this. Maybe somebody who's a more experienced Lego builder could have a good time with it. I enjoyed A lot of it, okay? It's not terrible, but there were a couple things that really kind of got me irritated, if I want to be honest. So, anyway, that's what we have here today. The dinosaur mech. Um, if you're patient, pick one up, okay? I'll show you a couple pictures of the finished product behind this. Okay, guys, take care. Have a great day. Remember, model building is supposed to be fun. This one may or may not be fun. Take care.